Vinaka, welcome to another episode of the FNU Pulse, and I'm Crystal, and today we are here with our FNU Counsellor based at the FNU campus, Ms. Varsha. She is a very familiar face and a very friendly face, and today we're going to talk about a big topic, a topic that a lot of people don't take very seriously, but I believe matters a lot now, especially in this day and age, and we're talking about mental health. Now, Varsha, basically, in a nutshell, for those people who think they know it all about mental health, but they don't, what do you think truly means to be mentally fit and healthy?
Thank you, Crystal. Before I get there, thank you for inviting me here and for sharing such an important and a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
So, yes, mental health is extremely important. We all know that mental health is growing and people are becoming aware of it. So we have seen around the social media, we have seen amongst each other,
Yes.
we do talk about mental health. We do acknowledge it. And the good thing is that we are sharing that I think I need to go and see a counselor.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not feeling normal.
Yeah, I need to talk about
yes.
yes. I need to talk to someone about this. I feel like before, when we were growing up, it wasn't there. You know, like, oh, there's a lot on my mind. Who do we go to? And sometimes we used to think that our parents or siblings were the best go-to people. But there are some issues we know that even our parents or our siblings or even our bestest best friend cannot solve. So especially when we're talking about young people, having the right mentors or having the right person to share your mental health issues with is important. Now, you being a professional counselor, why do you think, especially during this holiday season, it's important for us to take care of young people's mental health?
Okay. So, Crystal, when you woke up this morning, what all did you do?
Ooh. So when I woke up this morning, the first thing I did was pray. And then the next thing I did was try and motivate myself to, because the weather was not favorable.
And to come and do this podcast?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I really go? And then I was like, no, Varsha's going to wait for me. I'm going to go. And then, morning chores, and then got dressed, and then here I am.
So what is that for you?
For me, it's like my routine.
Exactly. So that's a routine, right?
Yes.
So when children go to school every day, Monday to Friday, we have a routine. We wake up at 5, 6, we do our devotion, shower, breakfast, pack our bags, last minute homework, check everything.
Yes.
So that's a routine. So what happens when school holidays start? We are chill, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to sleep. It's fine. It's all right.
Yes.
But if you are sleeping every day till 12 midday for the next 8 weeks and not doing anything. That's a concern.
Okay.
It's a concern because you are playing with your normal routine. Your body has just become relaxed. You are not aware of what you want to do. There is no change in activity.
Right.
Okay, so you have to be mindful of all these things. So it's important to have a timetable for your school holidays as well.
Really?
Why not?
Okay.
We can't be waking up 12 o'clock every day.
Okay.
It's really important to reflect. Researchers have shown that these breaks are good, extremely good.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we need a break once in a while when we work. So
yes.
the kids would need it too after a whole intense year of studying. Yeah.
And learning new things every day is challenging. It's not easy.
Of course.
I mean, imagine us. We go through this every day, and we get stressed, we get panic.
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
And children from kindergarten to class 1 to high school, they learn so many things. And so many of them, they don't know how to manage. The coping mechanism is not there.
Right.
So this break is important. But having been said that it's important to have a timetable to do everything. So sleeping is okay. Binging is okay. If you want to eat something whole day, it's okay. Be mindful.
Yeah.
Okay. Go outside, go to the nature, practice self-care. Self-care is extremely important.
Yeah.
Talk to your friends. Talk to reliable friends. Having been said that, Crystal, you can have 1,000 friends. We all have Facebook. I think Facebook has 5,000 limit, right, of friends. We can have 5,000 friends, but in that 5,000, how many of them are our true friends that we call and will be there for us?
Exactly. And now, like you with the rise of social media, you see everybody is trying to be friends with everybody because it's like sort of like a popularity contest, especially for young people. You talked about reliable friends. What are some of the signs of a reliable friend, according to you?
Confidentiality. So if I'm talking to you, right, I might not say it, Crystal, but I expect that my friend will keep it to herself,
right,
and not go around and telling the other friends
right,
that in our circles. Maybe I'm not comfortable enough to tell others, and I saw something in you,
right?
That that I think, okay, she has gone through that, and she might understand that. But do we have it? Do we have confidentiality? That's something. So how I was talking about having friends. Also, for me, I have friends, but I have mentors in my life.
Right.
And I am blessed to have so many mentors who have guided me right through my university days till now. So it really makes a difference.
Yeah.
They are there out there to be your mirror.
Right.
And that's very important, Crystal. I might tell you certain things that, oh, wow, you look so pretty, blah, blah, blah. But maybe I'm just saying it to make you happy.
Like a face value thing.
Yes.
Right.
But then if somebody is being really honest and a true critic, then they would say, yeah, that's nice, but I think the other color would be better.
Would be better. Yeah. It brings out your eyes or certain things. Now, a lot of times now we see a lot of people going through a lot of mental health issues, especially young people. What are some of the first signs that people can pick up, identifying early signs, especially for parents or siblings or loved ones during this holiday season, if they're at home and there's a certain person in their family who they believe is struggling? What are some early signs that they can pick up on?
So let's categorize that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about emotional signs, behavioral signs, and physical signs. Right. You and me, we stay with our families. Our parents are aware of our routine, our things, our snapping, our mood swings, everything. and by then, our friends and teachers are, also aware. But if we start behaving in a certain way, they would know.
Yeah.
Like for girls, when they're about to hit their periods, we have our mood swings. If we are stressed.
Like the worst.
Yes. So my parents know that my work is having a drama, I'm too stressed, or I'm not aware, so they know of my thing. Similarly, the parents back at home, they know of the children's behavior as well. So if you see that the student is having too many anxiety, too many mood swings, those are some of the emotional signs.
Right.
Okay. And they're feeling hopeless. They are showing this at a regular basis.
Right.
It's something to be concerned about.
Right.
Somebody is getting irritated very often.
Right. And it's like a minor problem and you just get so, worked up.
Yeah, you think it's just normal. But then for the child, it's actually something bothering.
Right.
Okay, so that's emotional.
Right.
Coming back to the behavioral signs, right? We were talking about the sleep pattern. Yeah. So it might affect that, okay, maybe he slept during the day and then at night the person is up for very long time. But if it's happening for a very many weeks and days, so it's something to be concerned about.
Right. Because it's not normal.
Yes. Yeah. And then a decline in academic performance, or there is some risk-taking behaviors of substance abuse.
Okay, let's talk about that. Right now, we have a lot of that readily available for young people, right? And come to think of it, young people are not afraid anymore. They're very bold in making these choices now. But how do they make the right choice, especially when they're overwhelmed with so much emotion, and it's so easy to just get drugs now. Yeah. Because drugs are now being found in schools, in classrooms. So as parents, how can they advise their children to stop giving into this risky behaviors?
Becoming their friends, understanding, talking to them without judging. Okay, that's really important to have a safe environment to talk about this. It's really important that parents choose their word, what they're saying, how they're saying, and we know it's really important that if your child is doing something wrong, if you think it's not normal, and if you just go start shouting at the child, you think the child will confine in you? Will the child tell you that what made me do this or how I started to learn about this, No, they won't. There's so much information around. You would know about this, Kelesi and her team, the Drugs-Free Fiji team, are doing great work in informing about these issues, and we have this information around, but are we actually understanding it?
Right. Because you can talk about it for days and days and days, but it goes right back to the family, right? Our parents, our older siblings, are we actually talking about this risky behaviors? Are we actually talking about things that affect us mentally and emotionally?
Or we just saying that don't do it? Why don't do it? What's the consequences? Because as soon as you say don't do it, they would want to try it.
Yeah, because it's human nature. If someone tells you not to do something, you're just so tempted to do it. You just want to be like, okay, but why? Exactly. Why was I told not to touch that or not to use that? It's just inbuilt, I believe.
Yes, and it's a human inquisitive thing.
Yeah.
When I started in FNU, Crystal, 6 years back, so you have come to my office, and the table there, I have a packet of condom there. Yeah. And there was so much controversy when I had that condom in my office, and I was told that you are promoting sex. I'm not promoting sex.
You're promoting safe sex.
Exactly. Because we know that students are engaged in this behavior.
Of course, yeah.
So if we are not talking to them, who will?
Exactly.
If the counselor is not comfortable, if they're not comfortable with the counselor, how can we tackle this issue?
Right.
So similarly, coming back to your question on drugs, because the parents will be the first contact to talk to them. So if they actually break it down, create a safe environment, make them comfortable that drugs is not a good thing.
Right.
Okay? If you, when you grow up after 18 years of age, you want to have a wine, have a beer, okay? That's comfortable.
Yeah.
That's okay. But then if you are abusing it, right?
That's not
because
right.
When you go to a club, we drink, there's, that 1 jar, 2 jar, 5 jar, and then it becomes till morning, and then 1 puff, 2 puff. Yeah. And that's how it starts.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, the parents should be aware their friend circle, who they're going out with, who they're talking to.
Yeah.
The social media, how much they're exposed to social media. You are aware of the pornography things we're having, this sexual harassment, child abuse, domestic violence, all these issues are part of it as well. And there's a high rise in HIV and STIs as well. So it's really concerning, Crystal. We really have to be mindful that you and me or whoever is spreading the message, when we are talking out there, be aware of the words you're using.
Right.
Be assertive. Be human. Show empathy. Show compassion. Please do not judge. Even if somebody is engaged in such activities, please be humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you really want to help, you cannot judge them.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Varsha. When we come back, we're going to talk about suicide. We're going to talk about how to notice the signs in someone who you think might be thinking of committing suicide or is just contemplating on any type of risky behavior. So please stay tuned for more. Naka.
Get ready, Fiji! The Fiji National University Roadshow team is hitting the road, and it's coming to you! Discover programs designed to power your future with tailor-made courses for everyone. We will be in Osori, Navua, Singatoka, Ba, Tabua, Rakiraki, Lautoka, and Nandi. So catch us at a town near you from the 11th of January to the 1st of February. Dream it, live it, and achieve it with FNU.
Welcome back. Today we're with Ms. Varsha, who is a counselor based here at FNU's Nasinu campus, and we are talking about mental health, especially for young people. Now, Ms. Varsha, we were talking about the emotional and, signs and behavioral signs in terms of noticing distress or suicide or risky behavior. Can you tell us a little bit about the physical signs as well?
Yes. Okay. So Sometimes we think that these signs, so I would like to say this, make this point before I talk about the signs and symptoms, that Crystal, sometimes the person can look normal, like normal, and the person can be contemplating suicide. So thinking about suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, these suicide signs and symptoms, they are there, and sometimes it's not there as well. So if you have somebody, you are noticing, like how I was mentioning about the emotional signs, behavioral signs, and the physical signs of change in appetite or losing weight very frequently. And sometimes you would also notice that the person is not paying attention to themselves as well. Like you would see somebody being all nice and grooming themselves, and then all of a sudden they are not even having a shower. They're not even going for a haircut. The beard is all, outgrown, and they're wearing the same t-shirt for so many days. There are certain things you find that the person was enjoying and not enjoying anymore. The person was very vocal, very happy, was a go-to person, but is no longer a go-to person. So these are some signs to be aware of. Okay. And the person becomes too quiet. The person might talk and say the word suicide, that I'm thinking about it, I'm contemplating, I just want to end my life, I'm done, nobody is understanding me, this is it, I feel I'm doing so much but nobody's there for me. So you would know that there is something going on in their life. Somebody is complaining very often, so the person is there to ask for help.
Yeah, that's basically them trying to reach out in a certain
different
way.
way. Yes, in their way that they think makes sense.
Yeah.
And you might not be an expert, you might not be a mental health expert, a psychologist, a counselor. That's okay. That person, he doesn't need that help at the moment. The only help the person needs is somebody to listen to him or her.
Yeah.
Okay, without judging. Just be there.
I think we need to highlight that part where you said without judging. Because many times we listen.
And also the confidentiality bit that I mentioned. Please, if you are doing this, if you are listening to somebody, maintain those two things. Like listen without judging and keep it confidential. Okay, and explain to the person. We all can do this, that, okay, I understand you are going through so many issues. I'd like to acknowledge you are such a strong person. You have been through so much. I mean, even if you're talking to a class 8 student or something, even for them it's so hard. They have gone through so much. I mean, imagine our kindergarten. I used to cry when I went to kindergarten. So life has been hard.
Yeah. And now if you think of it, now when I'm grown and I look at my childhood in a different perspective, I realize that there were times I felt overwhelmed as a kid. There were times I felt like, oh my God, this is impossible. I don't even know if I can make it. I remember when I was transitioning from class 8 to go to high school, and because I was going to go to a boarding school, I was terrified. And there would be times at night where I would just lie awake and not get any sleep, like you mentioned. And so the next day I'd be sleeping in for longer periods of time, which was not very usual for me, because I would spend the night crying. Because I was about to leave home and all of these things. And so if you have children at home and you know they're going to make a transition, something new is coming in their life, they are afraid, but they might not say it.
Yeah.
So in those spaces, what can parents do?
So how I have been talking about the importance of the parents, the words, the roles, how we set the benchmark so high that you have to score 90 out of 100 in maths, 80 out of 100 in English. You have to become a doctor, lawyer, dentist.
Such a brown people thing.
Yeah. And maybe it's changing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is changing. I mean, even I now see parents accepting it, that if they want to do something else,
I feel like we are progressing in terms of that, and I'm speaking coming from a person of a Fijian of Indian descent background. We know we set the bench too high for ourselves sometimes, and I'm talking about my personal experience, we have this urge to be the best. And you expect your children to be the best. And you expect them to be nothing less than a doctor, a nurse, an engineer,
Okay, sorry,
and all of
Crystal.
those things. Yes.
Why are we doing it?
I guess it's inbuilt, passed down from generation
But
to
what
generation.
makes us do that? Why did your parents want you to do the best? Why did your parents want to have your degree? Why did my parents as a girl wanted me to have education? Why?
Maybe because they could not get it.
And what else?
That is a very good question. I never really thought about it this way.
Why,
But-
audience? Why?
Now, but when I think about it, all this while I thought it was because it was their dreams, that they were that were unfulfilled, and they want to live it through their children, which is to some, I believe, some extent true. But then, what is the other? Now, even I'm curious, Varsha. What is the next reason?
Okay, so I mean, it's normal, right? It's
Yeah.
basic that our parents won't be there forever. They would
Yeah.
go. So they want us to have a sustainability. We are confident enough, especially for girls. I mean, if you look at it, that before we used to be just wedded off at an early young age.
Yeah.
But now the parents support you, that you can do whatever you want to do
Yeah.
and get married when you're ready.
Yeah.
And same goes to the boys as well.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies to the education bit and the career bit. The parents are there. They are telling us something. Maybe they are saying it in a different way, which makes us feel uncomfortable.
Right.
They want us to get that 90, 80.
Yeah.
But it's just that so that we can get admission in the university.
Right.
But so what the parents can do is, when they say you score 80, 90, say it in a way or do it in a way and give them a reason why I'm telling you. Okay? Because I'm telling you so you are able to climb the ladder. You cannot be in kindergarten always, right? You cannot be in class 1 always. So you need these marks to upgrade yourself. And you need these qualifications so you can find an employment. You can be independent. You need life skills. You need to survive. Okay? This is Mother Earth. You would have to be here. You have to fight. These are issues you have to handle.
Yeah.
So you need all these skills to manage and handle all these
And
things.
that's why you need this mark. I love how it's not just, this is my expectation and you're going to do it. It's, this is my expectation because I know you can do it because you need this.
And I will help you to achieve this.
I think that's the best part, where you tell your child that you will be there for them. I mean, right now, there's a huge debate going on the internet about the 6,000 failures.
Yes, and but I was going through the stats.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's 2% more than last year actually. Like the failure thing.
Yeah.
Like it has
So what would you advise as a counselor?
Okay. While growing up,
Yeah.
I wasn't Einstein in maths. My maths mark was just the highest maybe I got was 67 or 70. Okay. And if my teachers judged me based on that, today I wouldn't have had a degree, a postgrad and a master's and being employed in the field. Right. So my teachers, my parents, my friends did not judge me based on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Maths might not be required in all the field of education.
Yeah, that is true. We know here at FNU, you can do so much without even mathematics.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe I'm trying to say out there to our teachers, our parents, you don't have to judge them based on what you see out there. There are other things that they are smart at.
Right.
Okay. We have creative mind, Crystal. The mind is not only geared in one aspect. There's so much we can be doing. And school system nowadays that if you look at it, we are engaging so many other activities. Right. We are talking about sports. We are talking about being creative. We have had core games ever since. Yeah. So there are things, that there are changes happening, and if you see your child being inclined towards something, don't discourage them. Okay. be their friend, like I said. When our friends talk to us, they do not judge us.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Hopefully.
say, okay. well, they're supposed not to judge us, actually. So friends are out there, don't judge your friends.
Yeah. So I feel from what I have gotten from this discussion where we've been having about, noticing the physical signs with your child if they're thinking of risky behaviors or even contemplating suicide. We talked about encouraging positive goal setting, such as, scoring high marks. And if they fail to do so, being there for them. When you talked about the 6,000 failures in the Fiji 8th year exam, I'd like to just reiterate to the parents that are watching this, to the guardians that are watching this, especially for those children who did not meet the mark in class 8. Like Ms. Varsha said, you cannot judge them just based on that. They could be so good with something else. They could be star athletes. Who knows? One of them can be the next rugby star for Fiji. They could be the next, I don't know, best singer for Fiji, or a dancer. You never know.
And even if they are scoring less now in class 8, they might be a gold medalist in university.
Yeah.
I know so many, even with me, even for me. Like, I have done so well in psychology and law. And there are so many I know who have attained gold medalist, and they were average students in primary school or high school.
Yeah.
Or they were ducks in the primary school or high school, but they couldn't manage when they came to university. So those are the realities that we do not talk about, Crystal, but it's happening.
Right. So I'd like to encourage the students that are watching this as well. Do not be discouraged if you did not meet the mark in class 8. You could be the next gold medalist in uni. So after the break, we'll talk about, what resources are available for those of you who need to seek help. And we will also talk about how can we reduce the stigma in reaching out to ask for counseling. So stay tuned.
Get ready, Fiji! The Fiji National University Roadshow team is hitting the road, and it's coming to you. Discover programs designed to power your future with tailor-made courses for everyone. We will be in Osori, Navua, Singatoka, Ba, Tavua, Rakiraki, Lautoka, and Nandi. So catch us at a town near you from the 11th of January to the 1st of February. Dream it, live it, and achieve it with FNU.
Welcome back. We're in conversation with Ms. Varsha, who is our counselor here at the Fiji National University, and we were talking about mental health, especially amongst young people. Now, ma'am, let's be real. The resources are available for mental health, help. But my question is, what resources are readily available, especially targeting the group, like the young people?
Okay. So how many of us know about the helplines available?
I think a lot of people know about it, but I've heard things on social media about people not finding it reliable enough. So maybe you can help bust that myth. Maybe it's a myth, maybe it's a fact. You would know best.
So, okay. You are aware of these flyers we release very frequently. And together with the counseling flyers, we have ensured to share the helpline numbers of all the available helplines in Fiji.
Right.
Okay. So these are confidential and professional helplines. So we are talking about Lifeline here. We're talking about Fiji Women Crisis Center. We're talking about the helpline Domestic Violence Free Toll Free, Empower Pacific, Medical Services, Ministry of Health Stress Ward.
Right.
And there are two more resources that I would like to talk about is the online safety. Okay.
Oh, this one I did not know.
Online Safety Commission, and then Get Safe Online Fiji. So we all are aware about the cyberbullying.
Yes.
That's happening.
It's so prevalent now.
And it has caused a tremendous effect on the mental health to the extent that some people are attempting suicide. So this is sad. So how you have said that resources are available. Yes, there are a lot of resources available. And also on some things on YouTube. So instead of watching videos and so many things which are not necessary, let's watch some mental health videos.
Right.
Okay, we have so many information. I would like to give a few. Raisingchildren.com, and there is Beyond Blue organization, and there is another one, Mood Gym. So these three reliable websites that parents, children can access to, and has a lot of information. Okay,
Right.
we are aware of mental health, we are aware of counseling services, but are we accessing it? Are we talking to the right people, or are we talking to people we think is right for our brain, but actually they are
They're
not.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
And then most of these people, they do not reach out to these services or these resources that are available because of stigma. Now let's talk a little bit about that. Talking about the stigma that's attached to mental health. You know, most people think that just because they're going through, you know, certain mental health issues, if they reach out to somebody, they're going to be deemed, you know, I'm not going to mince my words, they're going to be deemed mad or crazy. So what is your perspective on that, and how can we let go of that stigma that holds us back from seeking the help that we so desperately need?
We have to create this healthy and positive environment and awareness and outreach that you would know as being in the marketing team, that how important is to create that outreach and the information. So the counseling services is making these colorful flyers that we talk about mental health. We are publishing things. We are creating small acronyms like we did for ALMA. So it's like, you know, you asking, are you okay? So this is ALMA. So you ask, listen, you motivate, and then you ask again. Okay. And these kind of information, you normalizing, you are saying that it's okay to talk about anything. It's okay to talk about your pimples. It can affect you. It might be a small issue for the other person, but for some people, it's really taunting.
Yeah, self-esteem, self-image. Yeah.
So one thing might be very petty for you, Crystal, but it might be a very big issue for the other person.
Right. So as parents, when our children reach out to us and they tell us that they think that they need counseling from a professional, or they need somebody to talk to, do you think parents should agree and take that step and link them up with somebody who is a reliable counselor?
Without becoming the counselor yourself and without judging them, you know, that's really important. But having been said that as well, going back to the first question that you had asked me about school holidays and all that, it's also important to say this out there, that some of our children stay in an environment which is not conducive. Okay, they might be uncomfortable, they might be going through issues, they might be sexually abused, they might be witnessing domestic violence, there might be a lack of food there, they might be living in poverty, you know, and that's why for some the holidays is not merry, and it's not a Merry Christmas.
Yes,
that
is true.
Yeah, and all these things are important for us as a society to be aware of. You can do a small gesture, a small good morning, a small smile, you know, like how I was talking about Alma. So just asking, are you okay? Yeah, it does make a difference. You don't have to buy a whole hamper of $100 to give to them.
Yeah.
You can buy a small bread, you know, some milk or some apple, some fruit. Healthy, let's promote healthy. No noodles, no bongo, no coke, and just give it to somebody. You know, you know a child is there beside you. They're on holidays, and you would want to do something. We are doing it. I know a lot of us are doing it, but let's do it more often.
So thank you so much once again, Varsha, to coming out and speaking on such an important topic, especially for our young people who will be on holidays, our young people who have just finished exams, most of them transitioning from primary school to high school, some of them transitioning from high school to university. It's a crazy world out there, you know. It's full of so many challenges.
Yeah, it's challenges, and then it's our inner strength of finding the coping mechanism which works for us.
Right.
There are so many things that might work for you and it might not work for me. But there are certain things which might work for me and it might not work for you as well.
Yeah.
So it's really important to find your strength and to explore the options out there.
Right. We all don't heal the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I finish this, there's a story I would like to share. It's a psychological experiment which was done, and the title is The Story of the Missing Tile. Okay? So, yeah. So there is a psychologist who did this experiment, and he called the professionals to make a swimming pool at his house. So the professionals came, they made a swimming pool, and then they left one tile. So they did not fix one tile, so one tile was missing.
Okay.
Nice swimming pool or waterfall done, very colorful
very
and
fancy.
everything. Fancy, Done, gone. So this psychologist invited people to come and see the swimming pool. So you would know that the swimming pool, when we are in the swimming pool, the water is clear, na?
Yeah.
So you can see the
the
down the
bottom,
tile. So everybody came and everybody is witnessing, and as soon as people come, the first thing they see is the tile is missing. The tile is missing. That one tile is not there. There is so many things to admire. The waterfall is there, the colorful, and it's a very comfortable environment. But the people are just focused on the tile. Okay? So, you tell me, Crystal, what's the moral of the story?
That people will always look at the one thing that's wrong instead of the good things that are around them.
And there are so many good things.
That is true.
We are engaged in. Okay? So, this message is out there for you as individuals. People will talk. They will point that missing tile. Okay? They will. Everybody will.
Yeah.
But it's on you how you handle it. Okay? And
someone will always be there to tell you what is wrong with you, what you're doing wrong, or what can go wrong because you made a choice.
when we go to YouTube, we don't start watching the first thing which comes up. We scroll through, right? We search what we want to do. So if we are putting in so much effort for entertainment, why can't we make that same effort to this, our mental health? Why do we have to accept everything which is thrown to us? Why can't we filter that as well as YouTube? Yeah. And just focus on the best. What you want to see, what you want to achieve, what you want to listen. You choose.
Right.
You are your best friend and you can make this happen.
Right. Thank you so much, Varsha. I feel like we're ending on such a positive note, and I really appreciate that. And if you're at home and if you know you're struggling with your mental health, remember that help is there. You just have to reach out. And for parents and guardians, if you feel like your child is going through, some issues, they're not themselves during this holiday season, please be there for them. Remember, you have to talk to them without being judgmental, and you have to maintain their confidence.
And also, there is no health without mental health. So let's promote mental health and become advocates of mental health.
True. I couldn't agree more. So thank you so much, Varsha, and thank you to everyone who has tuned in today. We hope you take care of yourself and you take care of those around you during this festive season.
Thank you for listening.